Okay, this is sort of an unannounced review. You're probably saying, hey, what happened to Deadpool? You said that was the next one. You posted that on Twitter. Apparently you're from New York. I don't know. Like I said, I posted everything I was going to review yesterday, Deadpool. And then it's been stressful. Everything that's going on with, the world right now and what I have to do at work now, a little bit extra, it's stressful. So I needed a day away from reviews and from doing videos in general, just to have it in myself. And so I was planning on doing Deadpool, and I'm like, okay, I have to go to the grocery store, to go to Walmart. I have to get some stuff for this weekend, some food, And so I did that, and I'm like, you know what? While I'm there, just pick this up. And so it's like one thing I got. Boom, there you go. Because I didn't go to the theaters to see this for some reason. I don't know why. I was totally planning on it because I saw the last one in the theater. But I didn't. So we're going to review. This is the intro here. Yo, it's me, it's the SCOTT, baby. And I'm here to give you my review for the 2019 film, Jumanji, The Next Level. I forgot to do it, I forgot about it. You skip a day, you forget your intro. That's how it works. I do have an announcement at the end of this. So, coming off the tails of Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, people are like, when that was announced, they're like, they're gonna besmirch the original Jumanji, and no one can be Robin Williams. And I'll tell you what, the original Jumanji is a classic. But Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle was pretty good. So going into this one, I still have no idea why I didn't go to see it this time. But I bought it. So I'm not watching it. Let me tell you. The thought, you think of this before the trailer came out, you're thinking, okay, how are they going to do this? Because you can't just go in, do the same thing over and over again. It's called Jumanji to the Next Level, so it's the next level. Well, and one, you gotta answer the question of how did they get back, because it destroyed the game at the end of the first one. And I think, if I remember correctly, when I did my review, or the second one, whatever, of the first, you know what I mean, of Welcome to the Jungle. I think I said that was one of my negatives because, they're going to be optioning for a sequel. You're going to try for a sequel. So you smash it, you destroy it, how are you going to get back? Well, they kind of fixed that, and you see it in the trailer, Spencer, and this is another negative at this point, is I think the beginning of this movie undoes everything the last movie did. And I hate it when a movie does that. Or not everything, but at least for the character of Spencer, it undoes everything. Because at the end of, Spencer's whole thing is he's wasn't confident, he didn't have any friends, all that, his only friend is using him to do homework, stuff like that. But here, and by the end of that one, he was confident, he had friends, he, had everything, he had a girlfriend. And beginning of this one, I wasn't expecting this, they're all in college now. And Spencer went to college in New York, and he comes back for the holidays, so it's technically a Christmas movie. Just saying. And he goes home to his mom's house, and he finds out that his grandfather is staying there, played by Danny DeVito. And from what Danny DeVito does, Danny DeVito basically plays Danny DeVito, but he's good at it, you can say. And we get some history, like Spencer's not. Welcome to the Jungle was very much Spencer's film, as well as the other kids, but Spencer was the focus, because it was his, here, it's shifted between Spencer and his grandpa Eddie, because there's a story with Grandpa Eddie and his friend Milo that is a part of this, film as well. So he comes home and he hasn't talked to his friends. He's supposed to meet them for brunch, at a place called Nora's. Don't get ahead of me. Don't get ahead of me, because we'll get to that. You're thinking, oh, wait a minute. Just don't get ahead of me. Please. Don't get ahead of me. Because as soon as I heard that name, that's what I did till I went, oh! But please, don't get ahead of me. I'm interested to see if my son will catch that by the name. Because sometimes he doesn't get it. But we'll see eventually. Anyway, well, speaking of kids, though, it's a PG-13 film. I know this. But I feel like there was a lot more swearing in this one than the last one. I'm just saying. And a lot more of the rude humor. Like, there's a whole section where Fridge, I think it was Jack Black at the time. No, he was back. Okay, he's back in Kevin Hart's body. But, like, there's a small little bitty section where they talk about the balls. Because they say that these... they impersonate two characters we never see. And they say that the one that Kevin Hart is impersonating is a eunuch. And so there's a whole section dedicated to a little part of the movie dedicated to him saying he has balls. And, you know, okay. But I think kids will laugh at that. Oh, he did balls. But, I'm just saying. Anyway, so Spencer, he doesn't feel like he fits, still doesn't feel like he fits in. So he thinks that being Smolder Bravestone will fix that. So he messes with the machine. And then the other three, Bethany, Fridge, and Martha, come looking for him. And that's when we're also introduced to Milo Walker, which is Danny Glover's character. And he, you saw this in the trailers. They come in there, something happened. What it is in the trailer is that two things. One, they hear the drums. So they run down to the basement, and it sucks them in, but not Bethany. She's left behind. And just Grandpa Eddie, Milo, Fridge, and Martha are sucked in. And if you've seen this in the trailers, this isn't much of a spoiler. But Fridge is now in Jack Black's body, and Martha's in her own body. But then you have Milo, who's in Kevin Hart's body, and Danny DeVito is in The Rock's body. Here's the thing, though. The Rock trying to play Danny DeVito didn't really work for me. Kevin Hart as Danny Glover did work. I would rather die. Did I die? I mean, it just worked. But with The Rock going, who are you? Where's Spencer? Just the whole, who are you? It's like, no. But there is an instance when they switch bodies, and the person he switches into works better. Even though it's a female, it still works better. I'll get to that. Because, and you think they would have, okay, so they discover it's a whole new game, it's a whole new villain, and that villain is Jurgen, who's the only first name I know is Jurgen. He's a new villain. And apparently, he killed Smolder Bravestone's parents when Bravestone was just a kid. So we get a backstory for Bravestone. The one thing that you can, you kind of see something's coming. One, they get to this area where it's basically like they find Jurgen and his people. They're after this jewel, which is an orange jewel, not a green one like the first one. And they have to show it to the sun and say Jumanji's name to escape. And they have to get a hold of it. But Jurgen has it. So, and the Jurgen plot gets more complicated as we get through his expedition thrown at us towards the end of the film. It's just like, wait, when is this ever said before? All of a sudden, this is happening? What? We'll get to that. So they meet up, and it was sort of like the marketplace in the first one. And they meet the Aquafina. First of all, who the hell is Aquafina? I've been hearing the last year and a half. I've been hearing about Aquafina, and I'm thinking the water. Who the hell is Aquafina? Hey, she was great in this movie. Don't get me wrong. I was surprised to learn she's that annoying Asian woman from the commercial where she had the phone, huh, what, or whatever. I always thought she was annoying, but she was good in this. She was great. I'll give it to Aquafina. She was good in this, especially so when they find her, and I was confused because the trailers and even some idiot on Wikipedia made it look like Spencer was gonna be in the the Nick Jonas body, but that's not what happened. He's actually in Aquafina's body. And this is a new character we've never met before. And also, they do the thing where things pop out. And there's different stuff. Like, for instance, Bravestone has a weakness, and it's Switchblade, which is which is kind of just thrown away. Really. Because he's the henchman of Jurgen. He's Jurgen's right-hand man. And he's kind of just thrown away. There's a scene where he blows them all up, but they bling, or whatever. And I don't think we see him again after that. Okay, he's supposed to be the weakness for Bravestone. Not really much of a weakness. They do go back to the cake thing later, but I gotta get to the thing in the middle here. During this, they're kind of split up a little bit, and because they have to get the Jumanji fruit. So Martha and Fridge split off, and Martha does a little kickboxing thing to get it, but she ends up falling in the water, and when Fridge sticks his foot in to help her, the water switches their bodies around. I'm like, oh, this is how they're going to switch their bodies. And I'm like, okay, they're going to have, hey guys, come back in here, we can switch bodies. It takes like 10, 15 minutes, maybe even 20 minutes before they even switch back. To me, that's padding. It's like they showed right there they could switch bodies. And it's very stupid that they don't think about that because they know it's that because they switch. And then when Fridge, no, that's another thing about the children. And it's both the character of Fridge, now that I think about it. Not only is there a little bit of section dedicated to Fridge's balls, there's this other little section here at this part where it's dedicated to Ruby Roundhouse's boobies. Which he's like, boobs. And she's like, don't touch my boobs. He goes, oh, that's the first thing I did. I'm like, there's kids watching this. Again, this is boobies. But still, I mean, I know it's a PG-13 movie, but kids will watch this. I'm just saying. That kind of humor I've seen in unrated rated R comedy movies. I mean, I know we had Scooby-Doo was man, why am I wearing a dress? Or I can look at myself naked. But still, they didn't actually say, I can see my boobs. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. But, boobs is a very childish word anyway. Okay, so I was talking about how they have different abilities. Like, all of a sudden now, one of Finbar, with Kevin Hart's abilities, is linguistics. He can talk to animals now, but he's still a weakness to cake. And geometry. Jack Black's character now knows geometry, which does help them, and they had the stuff, it works. So meanwhile, Bethany has gone to Alex's house to ask for help with the game. And to me, that was confusing. Because when they come out of this, they're in Spencer's basement. So does she run to Alex's house, then they go back to Spencer's house? Why wouldn't you just bring the game there? I see he's got kids. Maybe it's safer if it wasn't around them, but I'm just saying. And so they do show up to save them from, what was it? A bunch of bad guys, I think. And it's Bethany's a horse, and Alex is, of course, Nick Jonas. And then they get the switch. later, a little bit later. But they do this thing with the monkeys, and they get through there. The monkey thing is. The monkey's thing is before that, and then the monkeys surround them. That's when they save them from the monkeys, and then they realize that the water can turn them back to it because they realize in the bodies they are right now, it's not working because the main character, Aquafina, she's supposed to be this jewel thief, but Spencer's too shy and too meek to do anything about it. Grandpa Eddie, is not a good gravestone. Fridge is not a good Jack Black character. It's all messed up. So they realize they have to go into the water again. They jump in. And for me, it's very confusing. Because they showed us how you're supposed to do it earlier. Where Ruby Roundhouse fell in the water and then Jack Black grabbed her hand and they switched. So it's easy just to do it that way. But they all just jump in over through a waterfall and automatically they're just back in the bodies that they're supposed to have. There's no goofing around. There's no switching around. Man, I'm in the wrong body. No, it's just they're back in their own things. With now Grandpa Eddie being in Aquafina's body, which I think works because the way she acts, she's great. Portraying the grandpa character. That works. The Rock trying to do that? No. It works for her. And Milo is the horse. And find out something about the horse later. Grandpa Eddie and the horse get kidnapped. And so they have to rescue them. And this is where the extra exposition comes in. Alex goes to try to sneak in because he's dressed, in the snow stuff. And the other two are like, okay, let's go too. And they go. The other two being Jack Black and Kevin Hart. Let's go too. Oh, there is one scene. No, it's after this. Are you the brothers Kabnik or whatever the name is? I don't care. And they're like, yeah, we're the brothers Kabnik. And then they ask who they are, and then that's the eunuch joke and everything. They get in there, and this old lady goes, "Can I interest you in some cake?" And Kevin Hart's just like, "No!" He knocks the thing down. And then they go back to the cake thing later too. But so the whole thing is now that these brothers were supposed to bring their sister to marry Jurgen. What? And so now then Ruby Roundhouse shows up. The other ones were off doing Spencer and Martha had to save his grandfather, and Alex had to go save the horse because they were kidnapped, of course. And okay, they did the thing like they did in the first one, where they're all down to one life left, all except for Alex. I'm like, okay, that could come in handy. He could use his life to do something good. He uses it saving the horse. And I'm sorry, but the way he loses his lives are just stupid. He gets in, he's like, okay, let's do this. One step, ching, ding, brought back. So he goes in and he's very careful. He's like, I think I got it. All you gotta do is stay on the high ones. Ting, click, ding. So he finally gets over there, saves the horse, and he passes the horse on the side, and that's when he sees something. We don't get to see it, but he's like, whoa, cool. And of course, after he gets there, the thing becomes regular again. Because I was thinking, how are they going to get out of there afterwards? Things. Well, apparently it smooths over to just a wooden floor afterward. Which works, I guess. And, we get something I was waiting for. Because I'm like, are they going to do it again? They did in the first one. And they do here. And I got excited because that's one of my favorite parts from the first one. What are you talking about? Well, I'll tell you. So after, Ruby Roundhouse says she's the sister and the marriage and stuff, she's like, can I touch the jewel? And he's about to let her touch it. And then one guy goes, the brothers are going to be really late. Or something like that. Imposters! And so there's a fight scene and all these bad guys are coming. And, because Kevin Hart's the backpack guy. So, that's how he says it. So he pulls a big boombox out of the backpack and turns it on, and we get, "Ooh, baby, I love you way every day." I was like, yeah, because I was waiting for that thing. I'm like, they gotta do it at least once. And they do, and she's kicking ass all over the place, man. And, yeah, so this climax takes place on, it's like a blimp or dirigible, whatever you call it, one of those blimps. And Jurgen has the stone, and of course, this brave stone that's left there. One thing I want to talk about is that, like I said, there's this, the story. Before I get to the climax, I wanted to say this. Earlier in the film, like halfway before they switch bodies, because kind of how I knew they were going to switch bodies, throughout most of the film, Grandpa Eddie and Milo are arguing because they used to be business partners. They owned the restaurant Nora's that used to be Milo and Eddie's. And Milo wanted to retire, so he sold it to Nora. And Eddie's never forgiven him for it. And they sort of patch things up. Their character arc sort of comes full circle halfway through the film. And then they switch bodies. And they not really around them much until the climax. And most of them just stand around and look. Alex shows up again with the horse. And Spencer's in trouble. He's got the jewel. He's hanging from the thing. He's fighting Jurgen. And this is where there's a bit of a twist. He takes the Jumanji fruit, splashes it on Jurgen's chest, and a character thing pops up, which means that this guy's an avatar. And it says weakness, Jumanji fruit. And then the Rock kicking him his ass and stuff, beating him up. And then the Rock's about to fall, and here comes Spencer's grandpa on the horse. And it says, "Get on me." And the horse is galloping, and the horse flies. It grows wings. Yes, he can fly. Spencer throws the Jumanji, the stone thing, and he goes up, and they do another joke because the whole thing at the beginning of this was that the two old guys didn't know what was going on. They tried to explain it to him, and they just weren't getting it. And this kind of goes back to, they're like, they gotta show it to the sun. So they go up and they show it to the sun. And everyone's like, call out his name, and everyone's saying, "Jumanji, Jumanji, Jumanji." And Spencer Grandpa's like, "What? Jumanji?" And then shh, and they're all back. And then Nigel shows up because it's the end of the game, and he's ready to take them back. Fridge is about to, do the hand thing, go back, and the horse whinnies. Milo wants to stay behind. And he knows that means he'll never be able to get back. But they also mentioned earlier, that was part of the thing, is that Milo was sick. He's going to die. So it fits that he gets to stay behind as the horse. So that works. And everybody goes back, and they all end up in Spencer's basement, which I guess, now that I talked about it earlier, I think it makes sense that Bethany would have taken Alex back to the basement, because, you know what I mean? Because it'd be safer, wouldn't hurt his kids or his wife. Here's the thing, though. Alex wasn't living at the brick house in the first one. It was his father's house. He was just going to visit for the holiday. So how did she know he was going to be there? I just thought of that. It was very much a visit, right? That's what I got from it, that he was visiting him for a holiday or something. That it wasn't his house anymore. Why do we still live there? But I don't know. But so we get the end. Everyone's hunky-dory again, and we finally get to see Nora's. And there's this funny part where they're sitting there to cut to Nora's, and Fridge is sitting there with cake, and he's like, "Oh hell no!" and pushes it back. I laughed. I didn't even laugh at that part. This is when he's sitting there with the cake, and I figured out what was going on. I'm like, because it's cake. And yes, we get the cameo from Bebe Newworth from the first film as Nora, as an Aunt Nora, and yeah, it's her. And apparently, I did that for this too. Danny DeVito does the smolder, the whatever. He does it. She's like, hi, because she offers him to have a job there again. And yeah, and there's a mid credit scene where Spencer's mom and the heater repair guy find the game and release ostriches, which was seen earlier in the film. Okay. One more thing is that Dwayne Johnson did confirm that Jurgen, the bad guy in this film, is an avatar, and they're going to explore that in a third or fourth or fifth, if you count the third film. It's the third in this series. We'll just say that. All in all, I really enjoyed this about as much as the first one. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 because it's really good. Yeah. So what are your thoughts on Jumanji? The next level in the comments below. One more thing. So, I've decided to kind of dedicate Thursdays and Fridays to a special kind of reviews. And so, Thursdays will be Throwback Thursdays, where I'll be reviewing a movie from the 90s. Originally, my pick was Cobra. And then I realized it came out in the 80s. So, we're going to do 10 things I hate about you. That'll be the next one. I'll do Deadpool, I promise. But this is going to be the next one. And then tomorrow will be Flashback Friday, which will be 80s movies, which I was originally going to do. Originally, my plan was Cobra for the 90s movie, Top Gun for the 80s movie. Well, Cobra is an 80s movie, so that's going to be done tomorrow. Eventually, I'll do Top Gun. I don't know when, but yeah. So, Throwback Thursdays is this one. That's today. That'll be next. And then Flashback Fridays is 80s. That's tomorrow. So look for these reviews tomorrow. I'm not going to post them on Twitter because, you know, those are the ones that are coming up next. Actually, I might post one after 10 Things I Hate About You. If I do one after that, I don't know. Yeah, this weekend you'll probably get a lot of reviews and some other videos. I got some top 10s I want to do. Yeah, because I ain't going nowhere. You know why. But yeah, so like, share, and subscribe for more. And I'll see you in the next one.